Okay, Zveos is here. Alright, let's go. So, this is a replay analysis of Zveos. He is a Silver 2 player. Alright, let's see what you decide to go first. Do you have MR in your runes? No, you don't. You have a lot of AD. And you're going longsword first, okay. And you're going against Orianna. So the problem with going longsword early against an Orianna with exhaust is that you don't have a lot of all-in potential. Because of the if she plays it right, she shouldn't die to you. What you have to do against the Ori matches is you have to poke her down. And if you want to poke her down, you'd rather have AP. You do have like 15 AP, so that's okay. But Darkseal probably would have been the safer buy here just because of the pots and everything. Interesting. So, yeah. Poking her down with Q wouldn't be an option at this point. You would just lose trades. Darkseal would probably have been better because she has exhaust and she's trying to mitigate your all-in. That's pretty much the point of it. So, building longsword, which is better for all-ins, is kind of pointless. And I'm not expecting you to get kills early, but if you do, then I gotta see how exactly it went. I would assume Ori fucked up in one way. Because if Ori played it perfectly, she should not be able to die. She has way too much MR with her shield and if the ball's on her. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. So, in the beginning, you don't really want to shove in the wave. You want to Q her as much as possible. You gotta bait out what skill she has first. This looks like she's playing really back. You could have totally gotten that CS without queuing. Remember, you have to auto to CS as best as you can and Q to trade. If she walks up and tries to harass you, just throw out your Q and just trade with her. Just apply pressure. So it looks like she's gonna hit 2 first, so keep that in mind. Queuing there was pretty pointless. You didn't really get any CS or anything. You didn't have like a setup either because you didn't have Shimpo. So you have a huge wave coming, so you don't want to get too aggressive. Yeah, she actually doesn't know what she's doing. So because she hasn't applied that much pressure on you, you should just like take this incentive to just Q her. Just constantly Q her and try to test her reflexes. Whenever a CS is low, that's when you should try going for a Q. But there's nothing really going on here, so I guess that's okay if nothing's really going on. I guess this is just the lane that you could farm out. But more or less, you can be playing aggressive. And by aggressive, I'm saying like poker early. Apply pressure that way. Because a full health Ori is very hard to kill. So you want to poke her down. You can't go for an all-in. Seems like you're just farming. You could totally like set up on her. So like what I mean by setting up is like, alright, let's take a look at this scenario. So Ori is like autoing the melees, right? You can Q the melee minion as well when she walks up to auto it, and you can E onto it right after because you can set up the dagger really easily and get the CS at the same time. So like her minion's low, your minion's low. Right around here, you could Q. It would bounce right around here. You could even Q this if you want the dagger to bounce even further. And you could just E in right after. And just get pokes that way. That's like probably the safest way to do it. You may lose out on trades, but if you're playing longsword, you want to play aggressive. You want to be able to take advantage of that longsword early. If not, this is like a Darkseal lane. So, okay, at this point, you see how your minions are far back? She might want to walk up for it, so you can try to pressure her there by like queuing the melees, the mage, and then jumping in afterwards. It's like right here, you know, she's already walking up. You could have totally pressured her there. She might throw out a Q or something to try to CS. You only throw out an Q. Look how much little damage it does, you know what I mean? If you're trying to play around like that, you gotta play around your dagger pickup and your E. It seems like you're probably gonna max E first. So remember that. You don't want to be poking when you have longsword first, especially when you stacked up on AD. You want to be able to go in and apply your Shunpo, apply your autos, and apply the dagger pickup. Those do the most damage. Q only scales off of AP. So you got to play around the AD if you're going to get that much AD in it. So you're almost level 4. One more minion, you're going to hit 4. So this means you're... Oh, never mind. She hit 4 at the same time. But remember, look out for your levels. You can always try to all-in. So Lee Sin was top, so keep in mind of that. Like, there's like no trades going on whatsoever. It's just a farm fest and it's weird. This is actually the danger side for you because Lee Sin was just top, so be careful. E? You could have totally eat there. You gotta take advantage of the AD you have. She's not using any abilities on you right now. E. There you go. Okay, probably half the flash. Okay, nice. So Ori no exhaust now. This is where you just heal up with your pots and you just play aggressive. Popping all 3 pots at the same time is not a good idea. But whenever she gets into E range at this point, that's when you want to eat W. But be careful of Lee Sin, because Lee Sin can still be around. You are level 5, and you have Ignite. So, Ian, nice. W, Q. Okay. Just don't let Lee Sin hit the Q. Alright, you're good. And you just want to shove in the wave at this point. You have to shove it in super hard because Ori wants to back. Alright, good shit. Take a look at that all-in though. I think potentially you may have been able to get the kill. First of all, let's see what you're maxing first. So you're maxing Q, okay. Okay, first of all, if you're gonna go longsword and if you're gonna buff up all the AD, you should probably go Shunpo second, right? Because Shunpo actually scales off of your AD that you have early because you stacked up on that shit. And Q doesn't benefit from the AD at all. So you have 6 extra damage on your Q. So you might as well just go E second if you're gonna play this kind of heavy AD early. Second of all, let's see, eat W. You threw your Q way too early. What you have to do is you eat W, you just start ignite, you just start autoing, right? And the autos makes it so that she takes more damage, and then you walk back for your W, and then you Q afterwards so that your Shunpo isn't on that much longer of a cooldown. You have to be patient with your all-ins like that because of the Shunpo nerf, and because of that you can't get the kill. But yeah, Lee Sin was around. You could have potentially gotten the kill though if you played a little patient. But yeah, you shove in this wave. And you back. Let's see how much gold you have. You have 1200. You can actually get... Let's see what you do get. A revolver, 3 pots. Refill would have been better. Refill is a lot more cost efficient. And it saves you a lot of money. So yeah, refill definitely would have been better. Okay, but good back. Revolver is better when you're about to hit 6 because it does more damage. But you have to play around your AD. You definitely have to play around your AD. That was a good poke. Okay. One thing. So let's look at your XP here. You're very close to hitting 6, right? So what you want to do is you want to play out the lane slowly at this point, because she's gonna walk up to try to CS this, right? And you're almost 6 and she's not gonna hit 6 because you got that extra wave on her where she had the back, right? So obviously you're in the EXP lane. The moment you got that cannon, you definitely would have hit 6. So what you should have done is you should have played the lane a bit slowly. Let Ori walk up to auto the minions, get that cannon, and then eat W, Q, ulti. Or eat W ulti even and Q later. That would have been the smarter move, but you went for this trade, and look, you did like half her health. If you have ulti, you probably would have killed her. So yeah, keep in mind of your EXP. That trade could have been, you could have been a little bit more patient with trading with her and hit that 6 and then kill her. But yeah, you hit 6 here, so yeah, you can't really do anything with that anymore. I mean, you can try to like W, reset your Shimpo, and then try to find another opportunity to go in. That's also fine too, because you want to get her when she's not 6. But you're gonna wait for your cooldowns. Now the next time she walks up, you want to eat W. Next time she gets too close, let's see. Yeah, you should be hugging the bottom side as well. E, W. Oh, where's your ulti, dude? What you should have done there was you should have EW ulted. So what EW ulti does, alright, if you EW ulti right here, she would have to run away back to her tower, right? That's when you Q and follow up with your E. See how if you throw your Q too early, it bounces in a weird direction, or you can just choose not to go in that direction. So you want to eat W and kind of have her walk straight out of your ulti. That sets you up for a perfect Q. So yeah, I still think you potentially could have ultied here. You could even chunk her like as much to where like she has to back, and then you get another free wave, and you'd probably hit 7, and she'd probably hit 6. So you're gonna be 1 level ahead of her. That's another option you could do. But here, better option, if you really wanted that kill, you should have EW'd. She doesn't have any MR, right? Yeah, she's super squishy. You're a lot stronger. Should all in there. Okay, but I'm assuming that you want to all in. Next fight, Ori is gonna hit 6 pretty soon, so you're gonna have to be careful with that. Okay, let's take a look at other lanes. Other lanes don't really need help, so you should just keep focusing on this one. If you're a little scared of Ori now, she does have both thumbs up. If you're a little scared of Ori, you should just try to shove wave or just focus on farming. Well, you are level 7, so you actually are 1 whole level ahead of her. Or like half a level. But here, farming is fine. Oh, man. Oh, E. Wow, good job. Wait, that was weird. That shouldn't have worked. Because Ori had ulti. So this was good because you saw her going for the cannon, you eat W. What you could have done was you could have still ultied here and forced her to ulti and then follow up with your Q. She doesn't really have much to do after she ults except for like Q, W, and shield. If you know you have the damage, she's not ulting for some reason. So like, you know, people like this, like, I guess it's okay for you to hold your ulti, because if she's waiting for you to ulti first, then I can see why she's holding ulti, but it's not worth blink flash for. You'd rather flash afterwards, and on top of that, she had exhaust. So she could have, I think she could have fought you. She could have exhausted your ulti maybe? I don't know. But then she walks back into your dagger, you ulti, and then you could have eat here. But yeah, it doesn't matter. She didn't exhaust at all, so that was a misplay on her part. Like I said, like, you shouldn't be able to kill this Ori. She has all the tools to like stop you from going in. Ooh. Okay, W. Now you're dead. Let's see what you potentially could have done better there. So you don't have W. Okay, you could have definitely Shumpoed onto him. Okay, one thing is, alright, first you have to wait a little bit. You can't throw your Q right here, because if you throw your Q right here, your dagger's gonna land over here, and you have no kill potential at that point. You just want to run away. If that's what you're trying to do, then I guess he kind of just outplayed you. Welcome to the rice but fields, at this point, I think I would have fought. Lee Sin still has kick, so generally you'd want to run away from this, but he held his kick for some reason. He should just kicked you. Here, you could have Shumpoed onto him instead. But you try to Shimpo away. Maybe force him to kick. Generally, you can't really get away from this. He fucked up this this part here because he queued way too late. Had time to react to that. So you get an auto off, and then you try to run. Do you have your W? I'm not sure if you have your W. I'm assuming you don't. Yeah, you could have even started. You could have even like ignited him early, if anything. Like the moment you like eat into your Q dagger. Because you're looking for a kill. You're looking for a kill here. Lee Sin's trying to kill you. You can't really escape because you don't have flash, so you got all in. So igniting there would have been fine too. All right, let's see what you get. I think I would get probably boots, longsword, maybe sword shoes, maybe even. So you get sword shoes. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you can E in there. Nice. Alright. Let me show you a better way to combo this. You still got the kill regardless, but let me show you a better way to do it. So, you throw out her ball, right? You eat W, auto. If you're trying to go for an all-in, you don't really have to, alright. There's two things you could have done here. As soon as she threw out her ball and she landed on that dagger, you could have ulted and ignited straight up and just follow up with your E afterwards. That works. Here, if you W too early to where like Ori's already running, so your W has no purpose besides resetting your Shimpo, right? So at this point, as soon as you get that second auto off, you want to wait for your E to come back up so that you can eat W onto her afterwards so that you can keep chasing and then ulti. That's probably what I would have done. Unless you were looking to exactly like kill this Ori and you saw your damage, then you decided to go in, that's also fine. But generally, if Ori doesn't have any MR, you're pretty much going to be a lot stronger than her. And she hasn't thrown any ulti out, which is weird, so... Yeah, against this Ori, because she's not building MR, you can make aggressive plays like that. You should be able to take her full damage. As long as you're full health, like, Ori most likely can't win, especially when she's this behind. And then you E, and then you ulti, ignite. Ori, I still have yet to see an ulti by Ori. Okay, so you shove this next one, right? After you shove this next one, you should be looking at pressure the map because there's no more minions around. And by pressuring the map, I'm saying like you gotta like ward or you gotta like go bot or something. So Lee Sin's over there. Lee Sin's definitely gonna go defend mid, so it's fine. Should try making a play bottom here. Except let's see what you do in this downtime. You do absolutely nothing. You Q the Lee Sin, you stand there, and you mastery. When you could have went bot and try to apply some pressure, maybe give your bot some space to breathe. But Ori is back in lane. She has ulti. She's super weak, but you don't have ulti, so you're not really looking to make any play. Okay. So you should ping Ori Mia. I doubt she's gonna be anywhere. At this point, you do have ulti up now, so you can just wait for her to come back into lane and try to all in her again. But she does have exhaust, so you gotta be mindful of that. She is level 7, she's full health. So you're actually like not guaranteed to kill her. So at this point you should just shove. How much money you have? 1100? Yeah, you can just stay and keep farming. Okay, yeah, you pinged Dorimiya, that's good. So here you want to shove, you want to hard shove this wave. Let's try and go for an all-in. Yeah, so even after she used all her spells, she's fucking dead. But you still could have comboed that better. So yeah, Lee Sin's not around, so it's good thing that you went in. I still think EW ulti is probably the best choice because let's say like EW ulti, right? Even after she ults, you have a follow-up. You have your QE, so yeah. Keep that combo in mind. It's actually a really good combo. Oh, Lee Sin should have kick. Yeah, Lee Sin keeps throwing his Q very late. He has to throw it early enough to where it's guaranteed. So Nocturne kills him, and you should shove this next wave in. Oh, you should get that CS. Bit free CS for you. Let's see. Can you get Gunblade here? Okay, you have Gunblade now. That's good. So, because Ori's ulti is down and exhaust, you can play super aggressive on her. Oh my god. Because you don't know where Ori is, you should just hard shove this wave. He's not coming in the lane fast enough, and then you should start moving around the map. Okay, so let's see. You decided to go top, which is... there's no point. He's dead already. You should go bot instead. You saw two people already ganging up on one person. Then, yeah. See, what happens is if you keep staying mid, nothing is gonna happen except for you to get farm. You want to be able to pressure the map. Look at how low bot tower is. They're gonna overextend for it. If you already were walking down, they would have already extended for it. And you potentially would have gotten 2 kills. But instead, like, you bring Lee Sin mid, which is good. You want Lee Sin to be mid because then if you roam bot, Lee Sin can't react. So Lee Sin going mid is fine. Just you're not accomplishing anything here. You're only getting yourself stronger when you want your team to be stronger. That's the point of carrying games on your own. You want to carry your team as well. Let's see what's happening bottom though. And Bane kills. Like you're accomplishing nothing here. So you're better off just roaming and going bottom. So that was your fault. Oh wait, the Sivir's on the enemy team. Wait, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, they were winning anyway. I'm sorry. Bane is on your team. It was weird because like they were walking up this way and Sivir flashed up. Right? Did anyone see that? Don't know where Ori is. No sight of Ori. Maybe she fucking rage quit. I don't know.
If you run, you won't see me stab you.
Okay, so you can just assume Ori's just not here because Lee Sin's just like mid. Looks like you really want to kill this Lee Sin. Well, that is unlucky. Alright, let's see. This is the Q. Alright, that Shunpo was really bad. What you wanted to do was if Lee Sin Q'd in, you just want to W, that's it. And then the moment Blitzcrank hooks, that's when you want to E back into your W. And then you Q E afterwards. But you didn't have E at all because you used it on the Lee Sin. So, yeah. Don't use your E like that. See how much money you have? 900. You can get a Haunting Guys. You can get... because you're ahead. And you're ahead in levels. And that's when Magic Pen helps a lot. Because your base damage goes up. So you can get Haunting Guys here if you want. If you really wanted to. They all have all AD. So Zanya's wouldn't be bad either. Because it helps against Ori as well. Yeah, it looks like you're getting Zanya here, which is completely fine. But you gotta get into the habit of building Refill. Refill makes your packs... like... you just save a lot more money getting refills. Getting 3 pots and spending 150 each pack adds up. Okay, so it looks like you're going bottom. Looks like you're itching for something. So Lee Sin's pretty low. You're pretty strong. Let's see. I would... Alright. The way I would approach this fight here is I would Q Sivir. The dagger would land right here, and I would eat WLT. That would probably be the strongest burstiest combo you can do here. But let's see. You might eat WQ onto Sivir. That's what I'm expecting. Ooh. WLT? Nice. And then eat WQ, and then Ooh, you kind of fucked up there. Little delay. I pressed backspace and it just froze. I think it should be fine if we just wait long enough. Some Frosty's bad. Please replay. Don't shit on me like this. I hear Sivir. Alright, there you go. Alright. Alright, let's slow this down. Okay, so you Q. EW. Oh, you didn't W. That would have potentially just like nuked the shit out of Blitz. But yeah, what you should have done was you should have Shumpo'd here. If you Shumpo'd upwards and EWQ, then your combo moving forward would be downwards. You know what I mean? It's like if you E here and WQ, your Q would land here, so then you can pursue Sivir afterwards. And on top of that, if you E here, Sivir has to get into range of you in order to do damage. So here you got the kill. You have to Shumpo. You have to Shumpo away from that Sivir. You have all these daggers set up on you, and then you knew Camille was gonna die. But yeah, Eing there before Camille died just meant you couldn't get the kill. So you could have played that a little better for sure. Probably would have picked up one more extra kill. Right, you do go Zanya's here. You want to pick up pink wards. You could even get sweeper at this point because your team is so ahead to where you can freely walk into their jungle. Ori is pretty irrelevant. And you can just walk into their jungle and just help your team gain vision. That's how you gain it. That's how you like further push your advantage. It's just being able to control the map. And sweeper helps with that. Okay, so you see how you're walking in this jungle right here? You could have you could just like sweeper this whole place. If no one's there, you could just sit in it if there's nothing else to do. You can sweeper here and expect Lee Sin to come or Ori to come to try to like farm wraiths or whatever. And you could have totally making a pick. But here you didn't have ulti. If you didn't have Gunblade, you probably shouldn't have won it. If you had Gunblade, that was 100% guaranteed kill because you're level 12 and she's level 9. You gotta understand like when you can actually throw out your ulti or not. Sometimes, even if they're full health, you just throw out your ulti and try to see how much damage it actually does, and you'll be surprised. What was that Camille doing? Yeah, that's a... Is your Q up? Yeah, your Q was actually up. So then, like, look. This is the benefit of maxing Q. So you Q, right? You E and you W away. Camille fucked up her stun, so nothing's stopping you. Your Q should be up again. That's the good thing about maxing Q first. The Q cooldown, like, if you wait out your combo and spread out your combo a lot, your Q should come out again. So here, you have your Shumpo reset. You should have probably Q'd onto Ori. Q'd onto Ori, E onto the dagger, and then EWQ onto the Camille afterwards. You had Q for that Camille kill as well. That Ori just does not know how to exhaust or ulti. She's just way too scared. Normally you shouldn't be able to go in on an Ori that easily. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at the map. Vayne's back, Lu's back. Alright, so right now it's fine to apply as much pressure as possible, but you should know that you have 2 wards. Use these wards to ward inside their jungle so that you know where they are at all times. That's another thing about controlling the map, but instead you decide to dance. And you gotta stop that. But yeah, here you can get Zanya's. No, you have like 100 gold left for Zanya's. You should probably wait. If You have ulti. It's weird that you don't ulti, even after Lee Sin uses all his CC. You're like really saving your ulti for something. But yeah. Good ulti. You know, Nocturne probably would have helped you got that kill and get the reset, so you could have W'd away. But yeah, it's these little things that you don't do that keep you from winning games. If you make this thing a habit, and if you just like, if you're just winning and you're doing shit like that, you lose very valuable time. High elo players like me, we try to make use of all the time we have. We don't just sit there and BM or whatever. No one really does that. But yeah, your bot lane's wrecking. Vayne is like super fed, so your team should be like grouping at this point. You should tell your team like you're really strong. Vayne's really strong. So yeah, at this point your team should group. Just push towers or something. Push mid tower maybe. Mill's top. You guys could have definitely just shoved in mid. Because 2 are dead. Camille's top. Camille has Ignite. What was clearing bot gonna do? What, like bring this down to like, it's gonna do like what, 300 damage. That's it. So definitely learn to play around objectives. Know when you have an opportunity to actually take an objective. So you see 2 mid, you see 2 bots. So what you should do is you should clear this wave and just start moving bottom, because that's where all the pressure is gonna be. Yeah, you see, you're just standing there not really doing anything when you knew that there was 2 people pressuring bot. You have to like be there for your team. And you gotta understand. Look at Vayne going hard right now. And now you decide to go. Like, you have to preemptively see these things. When you see 2 bot and they're pushing in, you want to be there for them, because you know for a fact that if they're going to overextend, their enemy team is just going to try to go and kill them. Right? It's these little things. You got to like play reactively and know where the fights are going to be. That's what Cat's good at. That's what Cat like needs to do well. So it looks like you're... Okay. Then Q. Then E again. You could even like WE onto her. That's fine too. You can E away here. Yeah. So you do that. You got your Shimpo reset. You have to E here. E here. That's obvious E. The dagger's right there. Your Q should always be followed up with an E, right? And then you could have EW onto Sivir. You could have like even if you didn't think you see your dagger come, you could W and try to catch up to her with your E. But instead, you go for the Sivir. Potentially didn't need to Zanya's here. You could have just Shimpo'd out because you got instant reset on your Shimpo. If you actually, I don't know how well the Blitz timed this, but if you get hit by the Blitz hook and you E at the same time, your E should win out. It's kind of like Ezreal E. Same thing. Your E is gonna go off regardless. And the hook's just not gonna go off, like how like Ezreal can just E the hook. Same thing. So maybe you didn't press E fast enough, or maybe Blitzcrank timed the hook really well. But more or less, like, you should have been able to win this out. Because maybe, I'm assuming maybe you E onto something too far. Maybe you were trying to E onto one of these, and you weren't in range. You had to like E onto something that was in range so that you don't get hooked. So 1300. Let's see how much MR do they have. They have Ori with Banshees, Lee Sin. So they don't really have much MR, so you don't really need to go voice staff here. You can actually go like death cap if you really wanted to. So let's see, you sold your pots. Let's see what you get. See, selling your pots here is weird. It seems like you're gonna get haunting, guys. Selling your pots weird is here because you already have another set of items. It looks like you're gonna go haunting into Leandry's, which is not that great of a buy right now. Lulu fucking ulted herself. Yeah, you got Haunting Guys here. I think Haunting Guys isn't really worth it at this point. That's just me though. Especially 1500 gold like this late into the game and you get Haunting Guys, which gives you 15 Magic Pen. Magic Pen's only good to like use early, in my opinion. You could have like already started building into a death cap because you're that strong and you're that ahead of this Ori. 100% would have killed Ori there. Because, alright, this is something all cat mains already kind of know. If someone's overextended like this far, and there's like so many things to jump on near this Ori, you should just E, W, Gunblade, ulti, and you should be able to get so much damage off before she can even get her ulti off on you. You're super strong at this point. If you have Haunting Guys, might as well just go in because you're all damaged at this point. And you're trying to use that flat damage you have.
Welcome to the race.
But yeah, it could have been easy kill just because it was around. Let's see where the enemy team is. They're all spread out. Yeah, Ori was completely free kill. Camille was dead, so they're already down a person. Okay, so Dragon's coming up. Dragon should be free for you guys. It's gonna be Infernal, so you definitely want to prioritize that. So you're gonna shove in this lane. You shouldn't just auto the wave because that was just. I mean, it looks like you wanted to try to bait someone in to try to see if anyone want to walk up so you can kill them. But honestly, like, let me show you exactly what I mean. So you're pushing this really slow right before. Alright, let's see what happens when you do push it out. Look how black this whole thing is, right? That's what you want. You want to just, you shoving out the minions and denying vision is a lot of pressure on them because they don't know where you are. If there's a lot of black on the map, then it restricts their movement a lot. So, you know, times like those, you just wanna shove it in and just maybe like if you had sweeper, maybe run around their jungle and try to do something. You know what I mean? If you're just showing yourself mid and you're waiting for someone to come, no one's gonna come. So you want to like catch them off guard rather than like try to have someone challenge you. If that makes sense. Okay, so Infernal seems like it's yours. Oh no, it's not Infernal actually. Okay, that's just the fucking thing. Yeah, it's not Infernal. So you backed and bought nothing, which was completely pointless. You could have been helping out here. Coming in. Yeah, that back was completely pointless. But good thing your Vayne's really strong. W, E, Q. Gunblade. So Camilla's up there, which is weird. What's up, Seppi? Okay, so now you guys should just shove in the tower. Yep. Okay, you have everything now. Seems like you fucked up your combo there. Okay. Let's see what skills you have up. Okay. So let's look at the facts here. So you see Blitz, Lee Sin, Camille are all gonna come right now. So Camille actually goes for the stun on Vayne. It doesn't hit the stun, so immediately you wanna just like eat W Q ulti. Oh, but you already W'd. So because you W'd, you wanna start off with your QE. You know what I mean? Vayne is already 100% dead. Or maybe you should have just gone for the inhib and just ran. That's also another thing. Lulu could be. But you guys ended up living anyway. I think inhib ends up dying. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, generally you don't want to go in like that. You don't want to EQ ulti because then you can't get the reset and you can't jump on your Q. You want to like QE ulti. That's a lot safer for you to do. Because you land on a dagger. You always want to get a stream for reset. That's the kind of playstyle you want. Whoa. Did Blitz Flash? No, no, no. Camille Flash. Alright, that's whatever. So 3 of them are still not building MR, so it's completely fine. Or you can probably kill regardless because he's so weak. Lee Sin is the only one you can't really kill. Okay. So now you guys gotta go mid. Dude, they going hard. Oh my god. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, you're lucky. Vayne is fucking strong. Okay. So you should be getting this next inhib at top. I don't know if you guys are gonna keep fighting, but more or less, like, what we would do is we would respect the fact that they're all gonna be up. We respect the fact that they're all going to be up and go Baron. But let's see what happens here. I don't think you guys can end. Yeah. See, that was a free Baron. That was a free fucking Baron right there. It's like little decision making like those that like can just tilt the game. You know what I mean? You guys should be looking to go either Baron or bottom. Looks like enemy team is trying to Baron because there's Nocturne and Vayne bot, so it looks like you come to notice this. Hit the thing. Okay. And it seems like I can't do anything here. Yep. Oh, you didn't hit the plant. You like canceled the auto on the plant. That was unfortunate. But it looks like there's 2 bots, so you guys keep pushing. Yeah, it was bad to gather all the people bot because you guys didn't see that counter Baron coming. But you're stalling enough people right now to where Vayne can actually just safely like go in and get the items. She can actually go in there. Like, there's nothing wrong with that right now. Oh my god. Okay. You could have just pressured the inhib to where like they have to walk up. Alright, yeah, see that should have happened a lot earlier. So you get Leandries, and then I'm not sure, I think you get Rallies afterwards. And Vayne is dead. And you guys should be able to win just because you guys had 3 inhibs down, but honestly that was a fucking throw. Letting them get Baron and dying, that was pretty throwy. The fact that you guys didn't get Baron was also like something that hindered the game a little bit, but honestly, like, there's too many minions at this point. You guys are too strong. Ori is way too weak and irrelevant. So I'm just assuming you guys are just gonna end up pushing in and winning. It's like maybe you want to get the Sivir. Yeah, I think you could have gone to Sivir, but you should be for the team right now. I don't know why you're just waiting in a bush. They're not gonna walk out of their face. E? EWQ? Oh, where's your E? And you guys win. Alright, so a few things to point out here. Early game, you want to pressure Ori as much as you can, whether it's for Qs or whatever. But like, you guys were just having a farm fest, so you can definitely pressure this Ori. If she's not throwing any abilities at you, you should throw abilities at her, you know? So see out, like, wait out your opponent, see what they do. If they're not doing anything, you should just play aggressive. On top of that, if you went AD runes and longsword, you needed to work around getting your Shumpos in with your dagger pickups. because that's where all your strength is if you go all AD early, right? So there's that. Your combos early could have used a lot of work. One thing to note about your combos is that you should have started maxing E if you're gonna add that much into AD. If you're throwing that much into AD, you want your Shunpo to be stronger because your all-ins are gonna be better. And you want to all-in more. That's what you do with AD, right? But yeah, you went Q, and Q doesn't scale off of AD at all, so all your AD went to waste. So yeah. Yeah, about your combos, you really gotta slow down your combos and don't throw a Q so early. The way you want to land your Qs is you want to throw out your Q when they select the path they have to walk back. So then, like, let's say Ori has to walk back to her tower. That's when you throw your Q, and your Q is pretty much gonna block them from going. And if they keep walking, then you just E onto them right afterwards. That's how you want to use your Q. You don't want to do your EWQ really fast, throw your Q out in another direction, and have to Shunbo back because there's nothing you can do afterwards, right? So there's that. Let's see what else. There were times where you just stayed mid lane for no reason. When you shove in your minion wave, you want to take that time to walk around and come back to lane before your minion wave meets again. That's what you want to do. That's how you apply pressure and not really lose out on anything. Whether it's to board, whether it's to be there for your team, like, you have to move around when there's nothing going on in mid lane, or else you just stand there and do nothing. There's literally nothing. So yeah, get out of that habit. Like that time when I saw bot lane, like, you can easily predict something was going to happen bot lane because they kept pushing in. So obviously they're going to react to that. So you have to go down and try to see where the fights are going to be. That's what makes a good cat player. A good cat player is a cat player that's always going to be there in a fight. And you're always thinking like, oh man, if cat's here, like, we're just all going to die. That's the kind of pressure you want to give your enemy team. And the times when you like BM'd and stuff like that, don't do that. That's just, if you do that kind of shit, like, I don't know, first of all, it's like, there's no point. Second of all, it makes you look like a dick. Third of all, it's just, it wastes so much time when you could be doing something else. You could go ward their jungle, and that could lead to a kill, you know, instead of you just showing yourself and dancing. Like, yeah, don't do that shit. And yeah, you were really ahead of this Ori. You could have, like, ultied a lot better, a lot sooner, and, like, if you know your ulti damage more, you would have killed this Ori, like, plenty of times already. And the fact that the way she was playing, you could have just went on her and just fucking kill her, like, five more times. After that, you had to play very objectively, and there were times where there was that one time where you backed for no reason. You bought nothing and started coming back. You were already full health, and then the team was already fighting. You're just lucky Vayne was strong, or else, like, you basically threw that fight if they lost. That's basically your fault. So yeah, you always want to be there for your team. Always want to see where the fights are gonna be. Always be applying pressure. That's what you want to do. You always want to apply pressure on the map as Katarina. And yeah, oh, and your Liandry's third item was not a good choice. It seems like you were gonna go into, like, rallies afterwards, but, you know, around this time, like, they didn't have any MR, so you wanna power spike at this point. You're really strong. Enemy was really weak. You can free farm, so you want to go for, like, death cap or Ludens, or I would prefer death cap, but death cap would have been better. Even, like, I don't know, Banshees or something else besides Liandry's. And then you build Void Staff when they start having too much MR, which Camille was building Negatron, and Blitz started building Spectre's Cowl. So that's when you want to go Void Staff. Liandry's is too expensive. Liandry's is like, what, 3,200, I think? 2,800? I'm not sure, but there was definitely better alternatives. Liandry's wasn't really that much of a good buy here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you learned a lot, dude. Just keep up the pressure. Don't do stupid things like taunt, and learn to combo better, learn your damage with your ulti, and learn to see how your opponent plays, because that Ori was playing really bad to where you could have just completely run her down because she just wasn't throwing out any ability, she wasn't throwing ulti, she wasn't throwing out exhaust, so like, yeah, you could have totally just shit on this Ori and get like 20 kills. Easy, this game. But yeah, GG.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.